Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary findies, and hellions of all walks of life. My name is Javante, and we are back at Set Sail, a
Hello,
One
ladies and
Piece
gentlemen,
D&D
boys and girls,
adventure,
non-binary findies, and
with
hellions
my
of all walks
absolutely
of life.
amazing
My name
cast and
is J.
crew, and a surprise. For those that may have not know what we're doing, hi, we're going through the awesome stories of One Piece in my own version of the world of One Piece with an absolutely amazing cast and crew of characters, the new surprises, new devil fruits, new other things, and a lot of hijinks and hilarity on the seas, including not knowing how anchors work. Before we get started, how about we go around the group and introduce the current crew before I reveal a bit of a surprise? And we're going to start with. We'll start with Luke.
Hello, I'm Luke. My pronouns are he, him. I'm playing Ren, who is a part-time scientist and part-time freak, I guess.
Rob.
We don't
Hi,
judge.
I'm Rob. My pronouns are he, him. I am playing Trent Simmons, resident duelist, and just a little guy. You wouldn't you wouldn't get mad at just a little guy, would you?
Just a little guy.
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 So small.
Paige.
Hey everyone, I'm Paige. I am playing Scarlet Rabot, a merfolk martial artist that definitely doesn't need therapy.
Hmm.
And last but certainly not least, Ryan.
Hi, I'm Ryan, a Red Panda Cola, and tonight I'll be playing pronouns he, him. I have to make sure to remember that this time. And I'll be playing Dreki, your woodworker, ship guy, the big brother, maybe. Who knows?
Ship dude.
I
And
exist.
and for a surprise, our very first guest for the arc. That's actually kind of funny that I realized how that said. Hey, Arc, would you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. I am normally your Gridmaster, Lighthouse Keeper, Lore Rider, Beacon onto all beacons, Arclight Court. But today I am a special guest character here, Anchor Rhodes or Core. Uh, we'll see what gets revealed today before I say anything else.
I'm already suspicious.
And as we're gonna get started, we're going to just jump directly in. Um, we're not going to start on the ship. We are in fact going to go several nautical miles until we come across a sprawling city located on an island. A city with massive towering spires, each one bedecked with various different ship implements that seem to have been forged to create these towering structures. The streets are also lined with similar smaller items from ships that seem to have just been inlaid into the ground itself, sort of a reflection of the city's attachment to ship construction. At the center of this place is a massive stone pyramid-like structure. This predates the civilization of the island. A giant stone edifice, which sitting at the top is a very large obsidian structure. The structure itself, with hundreds of thousands of writings in polygraph. Though many of the residents of the island have attempted to study, none have really made out what any of these mean. As far as the island itself, Arcanum is a sprawling metropolis. It's very city design, essentially, to warrant construction in numerous ways. At its center is much more political atmosphere, with the government of the island itself running from the center. Sprawling from the that area, then you have the commerce district. From there, you have tend to be housing, and on the outskirts, construction and the manufacturing of ships. On this outskirts area, there is a small bar known simply as the Leaden Anchor. At the barhead itself is the owner of the establishment, a very rotund but jovial figure with a bit of a twin beard going that loops all the way around, uh, who's currently pouring a selection of brews for the locals of the town. And as he stops at the last glass, cleans off the bottle he was holding, sets it down, leans forward against it. And what do you have, kid? As he looks over to Anchor. Try to introduce your character properly.
Anchor is sitting at the end of the bar closest to the door. His back to it, but looking through the reflections of the bottles to see everybody that walks in. Uh, Salt white hair with tints of blue, like the sky and the sea, fluttering through it, braided down both sides till it rests over his chest. Ocean blue like markings on his arms. A collection of different link sized chains hanging from around his neck, even wrapped from the waist down past his knees and looping back up to the waist themselves. These dark sea blue trousers with leather wrapped and blue boots on the bottom. Uh, there's a small anchor tattoo underneath the eye. He looks up. He goes, anything that's not water.
I can do that much. You see him lift up a bottle, kind of spins it, pours a kind of a light brown liquid. This has a bit of a tangy sweetness to the smell. Stands, walks over to you, and sets the glass down. You looking for someone or looking out for someone?
Bit of both.
Well, if it helps, nobody from that pirate crew comes here that often. They tend to know they're not welcome in my establishments.
So this is a safe spot.
About as safe as you can get here.
What if I'm looking for people that those pirates are looking for?
Don't start shit in the bar and you're fine.
I won't. Captain's orders.
Hmm.
But could you point me in the direction of guillotine as he throws the drink completely back and then puts the glass back on the counter?
If you want to talk to that nightmare, as far as I recall, he's over in the what he's called the hunting lodge. It was that old governor's place that he used to have not too far from here. Maybe Commerce District. Can't miss it. The only place surrounded by guards.
And do they sound like they're having any problems with anybody?
I don't think Guillotine has problems with people.
I think it's about time he has a problem with someone. And I'll put a handful of coin onto the bar and I'll leave a small tattered patch on the bar that looks like 5 V's making a star with a smiling skull and a bandana wrapped around its head, named the Vulgar Victory, before leaving.
So you head out of the bar. You can hear some shouting as from the pier itself, a not a small ship, but one that's probably manned by a very light crew, is pulling something off of the ship and you see the person that is not giving commands to be careful with it is just simply observing. You see a woman with decidedly snake-like features, a long tail, a cobra-styled hood, uh, and a sort of more of a fanciful dress as opposed to any pirate or explorer's garb. Is just kind of watching the whole scene, arms crossed, and you see her every now and again watch what they're carrying off and then look over towards the pyramid and then back to what they're carrying off.
I go and approach and put on my wonderful smiling shipmate face. Looks like these guys don't exactly know what they're doing over here. Or you could
didn't-
use some better hands.
I didn't expect them to. Well, would your hands perhaps be better hands?
I've been dragging anchor chains for years. Pretty sure I can move it pretty easy for you.
If you wouldn't mind getting that expensive bit of equipment off of my ship without damaging it.
Absolutely.
400 berries in it for you if you can do it without damaging.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Are you the captain here?
Don't describe to any terms like captain or anything of the sort. Just an explorer, historian.
Historian. I love that. Not a problem. And Core will walk forward, and the chain from the anchor of the ship will turn black, like it's being exposed to some kind of essence or energy, and will make almost a ramp for this crate to slide down, and he'll just pull it down the chain to where it rests between the two of them.
You're a fascinating one. As she fishes out 400 berries and just holds it out to you.
And who is all of this for, if you don't mind me asking?
This equipment is for me and my studies. There's poneglyph on that hunk of obsidian up there, and I'm hoping to reveal some information for myself.
Well, if you would need me, I'll be around. And he'll
Oh.
only take 2 of the $100 berries out of her hand.
She gives a little snake-like smile, tongue flicks out for a moment. I'll definitely be looking out for you then. What's your name?
4.
Vala. A pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure's absolutely mine. There's a place we can have drinks later, safe from all the rebel rousing of the misfits of the island.
Perfect. I'll be looking out for you there then. As it stands, I have to make sure that I have my own place well equipped for my needs.
Well, if you need me.
I know where to find you. And as she begins walking, you see the crate seems to lift from the ground as you hear slithering as about several hundred snakes are moving the crate off of the ground and are carrying it behind her.
As one of them moves past his feet, he scritches the back of its head a little bit before it gets underneath the crate.
And as we keep the camera focused there, it's being just slowly pulled back several nautical miles as our lovely ship is currently being steered into that direction. There is loud thumping sounds as Peaches is currently hammering in the last of the floorboards back into place on the ship, and you see he just this. Okay, so we perhaps need to lay some ground rules on combat on the ships. If we can help it, can we not destroy our ship?
Look, I already said she bit off her own tongue.
Oh, you're completely fine. You did nothing wrong. P just turns slowly to Dreki. You.
I had every intention of fixing it after.
Okay, but it's the hindsight being 2020. Maybe try German suplexing them just off
Yeah.
of the ship. Maybe just
Off the ship, not through it, would be great. I mean, I can
Again.
survive without the ship, not you guys so much.
Intended on fixing it after, but I will make sure to not make it a habit.
I mean,
and then from the same pose, like compass turns to point to Ren.
Did I?
What the hell did you become?
Well, first of all, I did not break anything on this ship.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm just terrified of seeing that thing just ever again. You ate a person. It
yeah,
was
that was a
disturbing.
little strange.
It was only the lab coat that kept me from skewering you.
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't. You weren't up here. Yeah, I've developed some ways to make myself more viable in combat, you might say.
And that's what you thought of?
I didn't come up with that. It was, sort of one thing led to another.
See, viable is a good term, but not descriptive enough. I would say horrifying. It's a way to make yourself more horrifying
I mean,
in battle.
I
Scary
can't
beyond
really
all
judge
measure.
him. I
Oh, no,
breathe fire, lightning, and ice,
Hey.
and I don't have a
No,
devil
no,
fruit.
don't mistake me.
Right.
It was quite effective.
Yeah, it was very effective. Ren didn't let anyone escape, so
Right. So, I mean, I can assure you that I'm still in control of. That might make it worse. Never, I didn't say that. Never mind. I won't hurt any of you when that's going on. If
Got
that's-
you.
See,
That's-
Ren, these were questions that I was not thinking about before you brought them up.
Okay.
Hey, you covered
Now-
him before you
They
did.
happened to be in my mind.
I'm not sure what I can say here to improve that. Sorry for.
Are there any other shapes you can take so that we're not surprised next time?
Yes, I'm working on more, but for right now, there's what you all saw, and then another sort of similar form, which is a little bit more focused on sharp claws than sharp teeth. And then I can also turn into a fish-like creature. And but that only really I haven't really tried to breathe in air with it, so it has limited.
okay. Scratch that. 2 of us can survive with the boat braids. Good to know.
Right. For about an hour.
Alice, by the way, is at this
Good to
time
know.
sitting on a barrel on the ship, just like kicking her feet, eating some of the rations.
I was about to say, how has she been doing
did she
since
get
she
into the
flipped out
pizza
and
hole?
murdered a bunch of people?
Since post the change and since it's daylight, she's doing okay. She's kind of back to being her childlike self.
Does she seem to remember what happened that evening?
She hasn't stated.
Okay, fair enough.
I lean over to the guys. How is she still hungry? Didn't she also eat some people while she was a wolf? Did a werewolf thing?
I'm not hungry after that.
Okay,
One thing.
that is only at night and a full moon for her. And she hasn't made any references to remembering. She's already
Probably
been
for the
through enough.
best.
Let's not
As
push
a,
that yet.
with this being said, I would like for the audience to imagine in the background a chibi version of Alice reaching into her mouth, pulling out a bone, looking around frantically, and then like chucking it.
Oh, are you sure we shouldn't just check in on her to see if she's, was traumatized by the incident or anything?
Cue
Why would
Dreki just
she be
kind of like
traumatized?
leaning up over to look in her direction.
He looks over, sees Jackie looking at her. She's a little wave, goes back to eating.
I mean, she's not much more younger than I was when everything happened with me, and I'm fine. So I'm sure she'll be okay.
I mean, she seems fine right now, but we'll at least, keep an eye on her.
Look at me, I'm the picture of health.
Come She'll adapt. She'll be fine. Like I said, it's like once, maybe twice a month, depending on like the moon phase. So we can keep an eye on it.
Okay.
Eventually, it should get easier for her to deal with as she gets older.
There is a loud can't make the noise, but there is a loud cawing, crowing noise as a massive pelican-like bird creature with a knapsack lands on the ship.
I hear the caw and state it for a crow for a second, and a dart just goes over its head at the last second. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Looks over to Scarlet with like a
Sorry.
Looks over in that direction. Is it the male bird?
It's a male bird.
Yeah, a little sensitive to birds right now. I'll let one of you handle that.
We'll walk over to the male
Yeah.
bird. What you got for us today?
Like points wing at you, Dreki, and then like does like a as if to say like name.
Dreki.
Holds up a one feather, looks through the bag, fishes out a just what looks like a letter for you, puts it back, fishes through again, it pulls out a different one, holds it out, and it is pretty much just like one of those. Everyone is going to get these letters, specifically from your home island, just like detailing current festival events going on, things like that. Hands it over to you.
Bird know our names.
Takes it.
Points over to Ren.
Ren.
Looks in the bag, kind of fishes around in it, looks up and just kind of gives a like nothing for you today. Points over to Scarlet.
Scarlet.
Looks through, fishes through bag. Looks back up, and it also gives it.
I mean, I figured.
It points over to Trent. Holds up a
Trent-
feather. Holds up a
Yeah.
feather. Points to Trent again, and then starts to fish through bag.
Hey, this
Come
guy.
on, Tread. The bird knows your name.
Finally, someone does.
Pulls out a stack of letters,
Ah,
and then
Of
also
course.
fishes out like
it's a light day
sl-
today.
and then fishes out a slip of paper and holds it out like eagerly, like please sign this.
Man.
What's
I think
what's
that
on the paper?
The paper is just like a very old printout of you
Love
from
it.
one of your escapades. It just holds it out like
So
Always
I
a
think
pleasure to
we
meet a
figured
friend.
out if they know about him
Mm-hmm.
or the islands.
All your
So
people
you
like
are really famous.
you're only famous at home.
In certain areas, apparently not so much around here, but he'll take the stack is what, like a couple dozen or
it's a couple dozen, and you note like a lot of the names on the stack. They're from Skypia. They are
But-
fans.
now that they know they can use the carrier birds to bring stuff down, I'll try not to deluge our ship, I promise.
Hmm.
Great. So we have to worry about fan mail now. Awesome.
This is going to be a daily thing.
Unlikely that it'll be daily, no. I don't have that kind of money to keep bribing the carrier birds.
This
It's a
is
long trip to my hometown.
This is the second time we've seen one of these birds today. So
Yeah. Makes me a little paranoid that they can find us so easily, but that's
I do
He
I
gives-
know
He
about
gives
the
a
mail
like
system and how it
military-esque
works?
salute.
yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Am I aware how the mail system works?
You would have a vague idea of it, but essentially, like they act as the naval post office. They are very diligent in their duty. Don't really have a side. They just like our job is deliver the mail. So
We don't care about your political preference. We're just
Yeah.
doing our jobs.
we just deliver the mail.
Mm.
It's just their job. They
Uh,
couldn't care less what we do.
Peaches kind of walks over to it, and you see it. Looks to Peaches. Peaches offers the name. It fishes out a small, like another small letter, and holds it out, which Peaches happily takes.
Cool.
After a moment of kind of like just resting on the ship, it looks to the others to see like, all right, anything for me to take? And if no one says anything, it will begin to fly
Nope.
away.
I'll pull a little piece of dried fish and tuck it out.
Catches it in his mouth, gives another salute, and begins to fly away.
He'll open his letter to see what kind of news is from the home.
It is mostly current like festivals that are coming up. Interestingly, the head of the island is switching, so
Oh.
that's like a huge one going on.
Yep.
Outside of that, there's the typical the island's anniversary of its founding, things like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, the biggest news is the head of the island is having like a change in leadership, so that's taking precedence over everything else.
Do I know how long ago the last one was, or was that before my time?
It would have been before your time.
Gotcha. Oh wow, I'd be damned. Finally stepping down.
Is that what normally happens where you're from?
I mean, the head of the island kind of like remains that way until they feel they need to step down, and then a new one gets anointed, but it doesn't happen that often. The last one was like before I was even alive, so
Mm.
it's kind of a big deal back home.
It is for specifics, because the heads of the island are almost always alphabet giants who are essentially immortal. Yeah, their leadership can be several centuries. So often the only times that it doesn't happen because of retirement is just because another alphabet giant beat that one.
uh, yeah, you remember those giants I mentioned?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's typically them who are the heads of the island,
Hmm.
and they tend to live longer than anybody, honestly. So the fact that this one's stepping down means they've gotten old enough where they don't think they can handle it anymore. So they're pretty old.
Trent, going through your fan mail, a lot of it is kind of the typical, the liking the new pictures you've sent and things like that. There's a couple that do stand out, as there's some that are becoming fans of the other pirates that are there.
That's what I was looking for. Yes.
With fan names for the groups already starting to form.
God.
So that's currently a thing that is happening.
Scarlet ends up with fanboys or fangirls because that's right. I will kill you.
The two currently talked about, the two current like fan names that have been forming are the ones for Dreki, uh, which the fans for them tend to mostly be girls, so they call themselves the Shield Maidens.
Oh, I love it.
Cute.
And there are
Dreki, do you see this?
and there are Ren fans who are calling themselves the Ren Fair.
And that's just clever.
Yes.
Scarlet has some fans, but they have yet to decide what a fan name for them as a group is called.
God.
Scarlet, what does emo mean?
I have no idea.
Me neither. Oh well. Must not be important.
Okay.
Honestly, Dreki wouldn't be like looking over his shoulder because he kind of feels like he's rude. So unless it's pointed out to him specifically, he had no idea.
So we got our
Look,
mail. We got our
his
ship
grandfather's given
patched.
him enough shit in the past for sticking his nose in where it doesn't belong.
We got our mail. We should ship patched up. We should be on
We're
track
on-
for port, right?
Yeah, we're on course for the island. I should warn you, because we're a new ship, the island has a very specific process for, making sure that we aren't carrying anything of dangerous or illegal value. That's a
Okay.
threat to the island. No, we aren't, but it is a process.
Yeah.
So just to be warned when that process comes.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Did we ever actually search the ship? I know it's been a bit.
Yeah, I searched it when I investigated. There's nothing left below, just wrecked, kind of still.
Hey,
Like we're probably gonna definitely want to fix it up below deck too once we are at
oh
port
yeah,
and
no,
have time.
I definitely intend on giving it a proper repair instead of the past job.
I will, if there is nothing else that the party would like to do, as we drift through time, the island itself comes into view. Uh, the first thing that everyone can see is again this massive pyramid, and then the towering obelisk structure at the top, and then the remainder of the island kind of begins to slowly fade into sight.
I have one question for you, Jonte.
Yes,
Does the way to this island give us a long rest?
yes, I will. It gives you a
Oh,
long,
God.
you may
Please.
long rest. I could have immediately said no.
I mean, I can find a way.
I need my spell slots.
And again, people always underestimate how long it takes to sail places.
Hmm.
Oh,
But
that's
as
right.
the island begins to come into view, you feel the ship start shaking.
Is that supposed to happen?
This is part of the process.
It makes the ship shake.
There, you see at the sides of the ship, the water starts to lift up.
Huh.
Is this part of the process?
Yeah, this is the scary part of that.
What's
What,
going on?
what is it?
The
Air.
you see a portion of the island start to lift as well as the water from the side starts to cascade, and you see this twin massive pillar-like structures that have crewmates like working on either side, essentially like holding in the ship in place to just guide it to the port as the island begins to essentially pull the ship into its proper area. Uh, Core, at this time, you recognize that this process is happening because the island itself does have like an alarm system that blares that there's a new ship.
I'm heading down. There's a chance some of my other shipmates might be coming in on any of the other ships.
What you see heading down is you see a ship that is an older model. It's smaller than the ship that your crew is used to. But it's fairly well made. Uh, Currently being pulled into the designated area for the search. Um,
Who is the dock master?
at the time that you can see the dockmaster down here is a you assume to be a part giant just from size, massive figure by the name of Spjorn, who is just holding like a big hammer as well, just kind of watching the whole thing, takes a cigar, takes a puff of it.
Have I had previous interactions with them?
He's pleasant to people that are pleasant to him.
So absolutely pleasant to Anchor, to Core.
Yes.
And he would know that Core's like keeping an eye out.
Mhm.
He would tell him, he'd be like, I'm keeping an eye out for friends who might be on other boats.
Yeah, he would say. He would say.
I like wave over to him and I wave one of the patches from the Vulgar Victory.
He looks to the ship, looks back to you, and gives a like. He gives it like big and then small.
And I just point to my eyes and then to me. Like, can I look?
He just gestured for you to come over to him.
Rush over and to anyone else looking, Core is just randomly on their shoulders. That you did see him climb, you did see him get picked up. He is just standing on this dockmaster's shoulders.
He hands you a spyglass. Takes it, flips it around. Through the spyglass, you can see pretty much what looks like the crew. Nobody you know. Okay,
Trent and
first up,
Scarlet are on the deck. They look like they're arguing about something.
You can see Peaches, who you do recognize. Peaches is a well-known cartographer who definitely has worked with you before. Give me a history check
Got
with
it.
advantage because it'll be recent for you.
Does it have to do with piracy?
Yes.
Ah, so I get to add something else to this. 19 plus 7 for 26.
So scrolling through, most of the crews, you're just like, okay, these are peeps I don't really recognize. And then you get to Scarlet. Really, really hard not to recognize somebody that looks very, very similar to someone that fought your crew, and is part of the reason as to why a lot of this is happening. They are the spitting image of this person, if just a little younger.
They're carrying that person's weapon now too.
Yeah, you all, and also they're carrying the swords of that person.
But I can definitively tell that they're younger, or
Yes.
is it like this is spitting image? There's no question in my mind.
They are. You can tell that they're younger because they have the mermaid tail.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
my sister's old enough that her tail's split.
Put this spyglass down for them to hand.
The one other thing that you would note is that the person who's arguing with Scarlet has very small but very present wings.
Oh, from Sky Island. Got it. Turns and like both hands over the mouth into the ear of the giant. I have 200 berries with your name on it. If I could just go on there and talk to him while you're checking the ship.
Do you want me to send you over there?
Yeah. Call it a welcome party.
I'm glad that we all are on the same page with this.
Give me 200 berries now.
Tuck it right in like the little crevice of his ear that I'm standing next to talking in.
Fantastic. He sets the hammer down and like twists his arm to the side and then gestures for you to stand on top of the hammer.
And again, he's just now standing on that end of the hammer.
Very little effort. He lifts the hammer, spins, and just throws you.
Just hear Jay Uso somewhere in the multiverse.
There's for the crew, there is this loud sonic boom level popping sound. And then someone lands on your ship. Like skid through.
It just fits the deck.
I told you, she put her acid blood on the floor, and I, of course, opened the cage. What would you have done? She was going to escape. I opened the cage. What would you have done?
Yeah, you fucked up. I got it. There's the guest. Who the hell are you?
I mean,
What the hell?
You could just keep him in the cage if you really wanted to. How's it going?
She was
Welcome
escaping through
to
the.
the
I'm
island.
sorry, Trent Simmons. He'll hold out his hand.
Trent, that's familiar, but I can't place it. Definitely Sky Island, though, right?
I mean,
What gave it away? The
clearly.
wings?
no, the
but
name.
it's-
That's extremely rude for somebody that you're supposed to be sharing a ship with. And the chain that he's wrapping around his arm just seems to disappear with each like length he's wrapping around it.
Okay.
Is this clearly obvious?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's a clever trick.
I'm part of the dock inspection team here on the island. Here to check in with everybody, make sure that if you have anything that you want to present before they go through the ship, in order to expedite any of the things going on. I'm here to collect it or to just have it ready for the rest of the dock masons to come in and double check everything.
I look behind you. I look
Beaches!
behind you to see the skid mark. Like, is that
And is it-
normal procedure to be thrown like that onto each ship that arrives?
Normally, there's a bit more wax on the top deck
just
of
fixed
functioning
that.
ships.
Peaches moves his way between them and up to Corner and just hugs his leg.
Swear to God, Peaches knows everybody.
He probably
Give him a
does.
hug.
You know who's really famous here is Peaches.
Peaches is the
Yeah.
most famous person I've ever met, so makes sense.
I lean down and I go, Captain Vic says hello. He's doing okay. Not the best, but he's doing okay.
I was going to ask you about that, but I'm glad to know that he's okay.
I got everybody
Peaches?
else's patches, just in case I run into them.
Peaches, who's your friend?
This is one of the absolute best, I will say, privateers, for lack of a certain decorum, that I've ever met. This is Core.
Ah. Oh, it's nice to meet you. And a hold out a hand towards you.
Core will make the attempt to put as much strength into the hand, going to shake it. Cyborg?
Nah, this is all natural.
Oh, nice.
Call me
Shakes
Dreki.
hand. Dreki, Core. You remind me of a friend of mine. He's a cyborg.
Nah, it's hard to tell. I've heard stories. My grandfather claims we have giant in us. I don't know.
It looks like you got enough of it in you right now.
Yeah. I hear that a lot.
Then Core will turn to Ren and go, and you?
Hello, my name's Ren. Nice to meet you. You're part of the docking. This is normal. I'm kind of looking at Peaches like,
I looked to Beaches for a second and then looked back at everybody.
Peaches gives like a half nod, like kind of.
Okay, well,
A
welcome.
lot of freelancing work I do, at least recently.
For sure. Well, welcome on board. I don't think we have anything to report, but you're welcome to give it a look.
Wonderful. And what's your position here on the ship as part of the crew?
At the moment, I'm kind of the note taker, but eventually I'll start steering the ship. We sort of had a realization that none of us knew how to.
Peaches
Hard
like rubs the
turn
back of
to
his neck.
Peaches.
They didn't know to raise the anchor when you were.
Ren, just so you know, these are not necessarily things that we reveal immediately to brand new strangers.
To be fair, I
Look.
spend most of my time swimming ahead of the ship.
I'm good at
No,
building and fixing ships. I'm not. I've never sailed them.
Okay. And like eyes immediately lock to Scarlet. And walk over. Put a hand out towards them.
I don't take it. Just raise an eyebrow. Nice to meet you.
And your name is?
Scarlet.
Scarlet. Any other family members nearby? And I look directly at the weapon that is on their back.
Trent's hand goes to the hilt of his rapier.
I grab the hilt of that weapon. Why do you ask?
It looks really familiar. It's could say it's connected to a few things that have gone on in my life. And you look familiar to the person who carried it.
Yeah, are you
Scarlet, make me a dexterity check real quick.
a dexterity check?
Just make me a dexterity
For
check.
grabbing the weapon? What the fuck? Okay. I have a +4 to dexterity. It's fine, probably. What is that? That is a 12 on the die, so a 16.
You go to reach to grab the hilt of your weapon, and you feel air. Core. So you examine the weapon that is now in your hand.
A snake of chain went between your legs and pulled the blade up into my hand, and I'm looking over it.
Rapiers are out now. And Trent will step forward so that he's clear. There's nothing between him and Core.
My tail's up to your neckline.
As a thing, because I finally get to describe what this weapon looks like in full. The blade itself is a short sword. It has a slightly serrated edge to it. The serration looks less like it's like a shark's tooth. It looks more like they are wings, or like a part of a wing that has been designed to look like serrated edge. Uh, there's what appears to be a small bit at the end of the hilt where something is supposed to slot in, probably a jewel of some kind. The weapon itself looks to be faded in color, as if it's not fully present. But as you kind of maneuver it around, it lets off a little musical note as it turns.
Yeah,
You spoke of rudeness earlier, sir.
I'll take my
I
weapon
believe that
back.
taking
Here's
things
devil
that are
fruit
not
to you, sir.
yours.
I'm not taking it. I'm just examining it, and I wouldn't want you to feel compelled to draw a weapon in my presence if I'm simply just examining something.
You
Something that
could
does not belong to you.
have
It doesn't
asked.
belong to them either.
It does. I
And
won it
turns
in
it-
combat.
And hands it back.
Yank it back, and I sheath it at my side this time so I can keep a better grip on it.
Also,
Use devil fruit.
Oh, as I sheath it too, this copy of it disappears on my back. Wait, what the fuck is that? Okay,
Not
cool.
Not exactly, as Core looks over to Dreki. But if you found yourself against them, then you can assuredly count me as a
few.
friend.
Scarlet
Oh, I
relaxes
thought
a
you meant
little
devil fruit
bit.
use in general.
Okay,
How are you doing?
you could have just said that from the start.
What did you say, Ren?
I said, how are you doing that then?
Less open air, more private conversations for that. They attacked my captain. They took the rest of my crewmates and the people they work for. Their captain still has my crewmates.
Yeah, that's my sister. Her captain's the one who killed our family. So
all of the
Yeah.
indignance that Trent was working up just drains out.
we had her. He let her go.
It's
I
probably
don't think it's
safer
fair
that
to
way.
blame
Cut through the
anybody at
floor
that
with
point.
her acid blood.
Yeah, and you were supposed to be on watch.
Core
I
will
was
put
on watch. I watched her
All
bite her
right,
tongue.
all right. I don't think it's
Or-
fair to just point fingers. We all kind of.
She wouldn't even duel me.
I'm
How
just
very
saying,
improper.
when I was watching her, I had her handled, so to say.
Core will go to put a
Oh.
hand on Trent's shoulder.
Yeah.
It's probably for the best, honestly. It's not a fair fight.
And of course, Trent will elect to take that one way.
Core does not compute
he'll
which way
nod.
you took it.
He'll nod.
Alice, meanwhile, has stopped eating the rations and like peers over to look over to Core.
Hello.
There's a little nervous wave.
Oh, this is Alice.
For
Don't be
audience
afraid.
description of not knowing who Alice is a little wolf mink. So that's the best way I could describe her, really. She's a little wolf mink.
Core goes down to like one knee to be on the same level as them. Do you have a pirate vest?
I don't know what a pirate vest is.
One of these. And he'll pull out from in front of him, and like a darkened leathered vest will be in his hands. And
What
it's
are those?
just her size.
Oh, I don't have one of those. They look really cool.
I want to add one more thing.
Mm.
And he'll take one of the white patches out from his pocket, and a few of the smaller chain links that are hanging from around his neck will move down his hand and like staple the patch onto the little vest right over the heart portion, and then hand it to him.
I'm just making eye contact with Fred, like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
and Red's just like,
She like happily like spins a little bit to watch the end of the vest flap around.
Trent's enthralled.
I feel like Red's the smarts of the crew and Scarlet's the common sense. So those mesh.
At this time, some of
Right,
the other members of essentially the ship cleaning crew are all starting to descend onto the ship and are very steadily like looking around. You see some helping get rid of the scrape on the ship.
Appreciate
Okay.
that.
They weren't given wax at the last port. Can we make sure they get
Yeah, if
proper wax for the deck?
you guys are
You got
cleaning
it.
up, it's pretty rough downstairs too, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
And Core will wave to the dock master and just give two big thumbs up, like
He
it's all
gives
good.
he gives a big thumbs up back, and then you see him reach over and grabs a chain, like just a massive anchor style chain, and starts to pull, and the ship starts to go with it, as you feel something connect to the back of the ship and is just pulling it along.
Then how to get docked, they'll make sure any issues with the whole process of getting in here is fixed, taken care of. I got him to get you new wax for the deck and everything, so you won't have to worry about any of this, and even some of the water damage. And we'll turn to look at Peaches again and be like, giving the face of what crew did you grab? Essentially,
He just gives like a little half shrug, like, eh.
Uh,
Well, if you're actually here for, if you're against
yeah,
who they're looking for, then yeah, we may have business.
awesome. It sounds like you guys had problems with an anchor before. I was the
did.
forecastle anchorman for the Vulgar Victory. Anything that's got to do with keeping a ship in one spot or slowing a ship down to make a tight turn, I got you.
Yeah. They could use
We'll
the
have to
help.
make some.
mind.
I
We'll
just
have to
kind
make
of
some changes though.
feel free. I just kind of swim in front and tell us where we're going, and then pop back up occasionally. So
There we go.
As the ship makes eventually does make port due to the pulling, uh, you see him let go of the chain, and there's a silence and then a loud thud as what was probably a anchor of some variety that's been used to pull these ships just hits the bottom. Uh, you see Zvar cross his arms like in preparation for you all to descend.
Now we go meet
Um,
Czar, and should be good.
You mind if I asked how up to date the wanted posters are?
Here, not nearly as up to date as they should be. My bounty still says it's somewhere in like the low 100,000s, and it's way above that.
Gotcha.
noted.
Looks to the rest of the crew.
It's your choice.
I mean, it's
I'll
probably
offer-
fine if he's walking around.
I'll offer my shoulders as like the shoulder backpack kind
How
of walk thing
how
for Peaches.
how tall is Court?
Peaches
By the
Peaches
way,
hops
For
up.
Peaches.
How tall are you, Court?
Core is 6'2".
Okay, so yeah, I'm much shorter than you too. Great.
Yeah, Peaches clambers up, and yes, he's very used to this variety of thing.
So you're slightly taller than Ren, still towering over Scarlet. Cool.
Okay. Next question. How's the Marine presence?
Minute.
The lowest I've seen,
Yeah.
honestly, in quite a while.
Oh,
but
perfect.
it might be because of the people who've decided to call the place home. Peaches, come like in the middle.
It's difficult. You have gained muscle mass. It's not the same as it used to be.
Angling.
Cool. I'm just gonna walk through them. Go down the
I think I'm
ramp.
gonna follow her lead.
He'll wait for Alice to see if she wants to join them. She
Alice.
probably does, and
Alice nods and follows after the other two.
keeps up with everybody.
Dreki, as you step off the ship, you come eye to eye with Czar, who looks to you, kind of looks you up and down, and he slams the hammer onto the ground and then crosses his arms as he looks to you.
He'll stop and do the same.
They got a strong grip, Czar.
Czar gives a holds out his hand.
Will also reach out to grab said hand.
Give me a strength check.
The ground just
Will do.
shakes.
I like take a step back.
It's just that one bodybuilder meme with the fucking arm, the handshake thing.
It's the, if you want an exact anime depiction, this is Armstrong meeting.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Wow. Unfortunately, things have thrown me off, so it's only a 15.
It's fine. It's equal as their
Perfect.
hands clasp, and there's this almost like lightning in the air. As they just hold arms essentially, and then just it's a pleasure to meet another one here.
Yeah, it's been too long.
There's very few of us.
Yes.
What crew do you ride with? What are their names?
So
I'm down here. Scarlett's like standing in between them, like at like solar plexus level.
so
Sorry.
Like hair windswept from the force of the handshake.
so that's Scarlet down there. Trent, Ren, Peaches is on core, and this is Alice.
Alice, like, staring up in awe. You have assembled a fine crew, friend.
Yeah. I'm hoping I make them proud back home.
There are many places for you all to come in and enjoy yourselves while we maintain your ship. When your ship maintenance is done and you've had free...
Yeah, I think our friend here had somewhere.
The anchor. And he points in the direction of the bar.
I was going to say, one of the best places to have a bit of imbibement and to have polite conversation. Gives like polite conversation. A place known as the Leaded Anchor, not too far from here. Ground rules: try not to make trouble on the actual streets. You have problems with someone, take care of it elsewhere where people cannot be hurt.
I'll show him the normal spot.
Trust me, I'm not looking to cause problems for other people.
And if any interest in Pyramid and Wondergrift Tablet, go there at your own discretion. Is wild beasts further that way.
Czar,
Mm.
Zala's chip.
Taking care of that as much as I've had.
Did she give you the other 200?
Yes.
Awesome. We'll probably be swinging by hers as well sometime soon if you could let her know.
I will try. She is in very precarious spot.
Yeah. Well, like, we'll swing by the ship, and then if she hasn't stopped back in for the day, we'll go to the spot.
Gotcha. Other than that, enjoy your game.
We'll make sure to do that and stay as much out of trouble as possible.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Take care of the ship for us. Core, was it? Lead the way?
Yeah, we stay away from the trade house. And he says very quietly, or as they're walking away from the area. You'll be able to notice it. It's surrounded by guards.
I guess Core would also notice that Scarlet doesn't much as walk, as there's just a little mini pool of water that kind of just floats with her tail, so she just glides along.
You're the Void Minion from World of Warcraft.
Yes. Yes.
Void Walker, I think it was called.
Yeah, our village was just a summon that went wrong, obviously.
We avoid the trade house, surrounded by guards.
That's fair.
Guillotine's guards. That's why I'm here.
Scarlet stops and just stares back at the trade house.
Scarlet.
Due time.
We
I'm getting
can't right now.
I'm getting people. We want to do it right.
As long as I get to Guillotine and I get to my sister, I suppose.
We're going to do it right.
I was sort of under the impression that Guillotine didn't stay in one place for long. They sort of.
Well, my sister said he was hunting something in this area.
And it's also just misinformation can be taken as information.
Yeah, apparently the old man's gotten suicidal, and since I've last seen him, he's trying to kill a sea king. So,
Was it the
Hey,
crab?
Core, give me a nature check.
You
I
got
don't think
I
they
don't think
specified if it
I-
was that one.
did they say which one it was? Wasn't it like
They
the
did not.
Leviathan one?
They said it was the Leviathan.
So
Yeah.
not the crab.
Yeah, it was the giant Leviathan.
17
Alright.
total.
You know that on rare occasions, it's been some of the poneglyph that's been deciphered does talk of things being offered to the ocean to have the Sea King come near the island to protect the island. Um, so it's not as if it's rare for said Leviathan to be here, which
Yeah.
may be part of the reason as to why he is here.
It's you can make offerings from the island to essentially coax out the creature. And it's consistent enough that he would find a reason to stay here for a while.
Hmm.
But I can answer your question, and he points over to Ren, and I can give you a little bit more info, points up to Peaches, once we get to the bar.
Yeah, bar sounds good. I could use a drink.
And I'll lead him to the lead and anchor.
Um, Leading inside, the bar's kind of cleared out of most of its regular patrons. There's still a few that are there that you're just like, yeah, they don't really leave. Um,
What
there's
time
also
is it? Ish.
relatively speaking, it's like 3 in the afternoon. There is a couple newer faces that are just in the bar right now. Some of them you think are the crew for pulling the poneglyph reader off of the ship. Um, there is also someone wearing tattered like robe like gear who is just nursing a glass of water.
Do I recognize that it's a poneglyph reader? Because I do have that poneglyph tablet that I probably should look at at
It is
some
not.
point.
It is not in because it is not in the bar. You do not see it.
Okay.
As a side note, Trent is having a hard time getting his land legs back. So he stumbles a little bit, this being his first time off the ship after a long time on the ship. So he's looks like he's already been imbibing, even though he's stone sober.
Dreki reaches out to steady you.
Why does it feel like the still earth is moving? I had finally gotten used to the movement out there in the water. Why is it that this ground not moving now feels like it's moving? This makes no sense.
It's
It
the
makes all
water.
the sense.
The water in your head's still moving with the water of the ocean. You got to get it to level out with the island.
Oh. Ren launches into the longest, like, actual explanation.
I walk
Actually,
away
like-
during that explanation and go order a
At
drink.
some point, at some point during the explanation, Trent will turn to Core and be like, "Water in the head, understood."
I'm already at the other side of the bar.
The
Oh,
one
Your inner
wearing
ear, you see.
the one wearing the tattered robes, as you go to the other end of the bar, you see their head lift, and just very rapidly they seem to just like slide to sit beside you. I didn't think you'd get here so fast. As you see Pirouette, aka Shiro, kind of gives you a little wink.
Oh, it's you. Yeah. We had a run-in with my sister. You didn't mention that when we saw you.
It wasn't pertinent information. I kind of figured you died to them anyway.
What are you doing here?
I'm assuming same reason you were here.
Great. Would think we're going to need all the help we can get.
Help is subjective.
If you can just
Don't-
kill his men, that works for me. Let's
I'm
just
killing
clear a
his
path.
men, and I'm killing him.
Not if I get there first.
Oh, is it a race now?
It is.
I might have the advantage, tailed one.
I've taken care of that issue. Don't worry.
Pirouette, very good to see you again. I
Just out
hesitate to
loud.
She spins around. Core, you you don't recognize Pirouette, but some of the patchwork gear that they're wearing seems to be taken from members of Guillotine's crew that has just been patched together to make a pirate coat.
Charlotte visibly face palms.
Our first meeting was one I admit I shan't soon forget. How have you been?
Oh, I've been fine. It's been a rough ride by myself, but all things considered, I've been fine. Her head tilts, she looks over to Core and like looks at the patch she's wearing. Huh. I thought that whole crew was dead.
Not all of us.
Hmm. He's getting sloppy.
Very. He's even put some of them to his ranks from what I've heard, too.
Oh, is that going to be a problem?
Not in the slightest.
Are you
Fantastic.
gonna leave bodies everywhere again?
Yes, if I can help it.
Yeah, he's a habit of killing people and then brainwashing them. Sounds about right.
Oh, is
Bartender.
as the same figure like walks up, looks over to the group. We have new customers. Yes. What can I get you?
A double of whatever your strongest drink is.
Also that, please.
But yeah, I think just a full round, honestly.
Can I see a wine? No, that's okay. I'll take.
I
whatever you have.
immediately put my hand over your mouth. and I just slap money on the table or on the bar.
Alice like trying to
and,
scramble the stool.
Shirley
We'll help
Temple.
her.
He like looks over to Core, my strongest.
Yeah. Anything that's not water. And he'll point to Trent. Anything from the Sky Islands.
Ooh.
No, they surely don't have anything here.
Believe you me, there's plenty of travel through this area.
He like looks over to Dreki.
Surely
Strongest?
not.
Yeah.
Strongest. Special Shirley Temple.
Do you,
Core, anything that's not water.
Anything that's not water.
after the strongest, do you have any mead?
I surely have mead.
Uh,
Give me one moment, and you see him start to fish several bottles, and begins to pour a heaping concoction. That's where we're going to take our first break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have to go anywhere, so this is great.
After he pours the first 2 glasses of the strongest drink, I just grab the rest of the bottle.
Uh-oh.
Bottles.
I feel
You
like
asked for the
Constitution
strongest
saves are going
drink.
to ensue.
I'm ready for it.
Yes.
It's fine.
So we'll see you after break. And we're back.
We've never been more back.
No.
I just noticed you were chewing something. I thought I could fill in the gap there.
It's good. This will happen all the time.
So bad.
It's okay. Just have you ready. You just gotta fill the void. Start talking, everybody. So I
You did
take
this whole
this.
thumbs up
I
before.
down this very strong drink in the shot. This full glass, just down it. What happens? Do I die? Can I make a new character?
No, you said you were drinking out of the bottle, to be
Yeah.
clear.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
down
are-
the
So the
bottle.
thing-
I
the
down
thing
the
is-
bottle.
Now the thing is that the strongest drink is not a bottle of anything. It is a mixed drink.
Ooh, okay.
For the group that ordered it, you each see sliding in front of you something that is actually bubbling, and you see steam rising from it. It has the same color as just black tar.
Love it. I just down it immediately. This is Scarlett's first ever alcoholic drink, I should mention.
Oh, good.
Boy, this isn't called black tar heroin, is it?
I was
No.
living alone in the sea until I met you guys. What do you expect? What did I have time to drink?
Why did you walk in here and order the strongest thing they had?
Just I just went through a traumatic family experience.
This is a drink that Core you would know very well. This is called the Sea King's Ink.
Yep.
Uh,
And I know it's supposed to be sipped.
Scarlet, you down the entire thing? Give me a
Ren has
constitution
already-
check.
Ren also
Red
does.
as well?
Yeah.
Are you just downing it?
You've
I-
seen him drink nastier shit than
That's
this.
fair.
I have
That's
a
fair.
+1 to Constitution, guys. This
You
will
have
be
a
fun.
disadvantage on the saving throw.
Oh, perfect.
+2.
So these dice have been rolling fucking insane for these last couple episodes.
Yeah, but they've been rolling for you insane in two directions.
Okay, that one's caught. It doesn't even matter. The other one that's not caught is a 2. So that's a 3.
Red, what'd you get?
Did it,
I got
guys?
I got a 13.
Okay. At disadvantage, you got a 13.
Oh, that was also disadvantage. Hang on.
Yeah.
I do have a +2, you know. Well, that'll be
Damn,
a 4.
I'm not high enough month level where I can just down alcohol. for
Jackie.
effects.
Jackie, are you also downing this?
No, he is more seasoned in his alcohol drinking, and from the amount of booze that went into that thing, he has a feeling that even with how constitutionally sound he might be, he's not looking to get absolutely hammered right off the bat.
Fair. So roll me Constitution save, not at disadvantage.
Baller. A save, you said?
Yes.
16.
All right. And Trent, what's placed in front of you, you see a glass of a beautiful, like deep red colored wine.
No.
And the bottle that's placed in front of it, you do see is a Skypian label bottle.
And I put like 300 berries behind the bottle for the barkeep.
Yep, there's the barkeep kind of like swipes it and takes it. Scarlet and Ren. It's not the taste that hits first because this does not really have like an immediate taste. In the same sense that absinthe doesn't have an immediate taste, it's more just your body's gut reaction to sipping on that first. It's like it drop kicks your uvula. From there, it's then the consistency. As this doesn't go down smooth, it crawls down the tongue. It's the same like level of consistency as
Oh. It's like
ink or
Jägermeister.
tar.
Don't like that.
It's then uncomfortably warm as it settles into the stomach. But it settles. You ever had anything that's like been deep fried in lard?
Mm, great.
The sensation of eating that and it just kind of going into the stomach is kind of how this liquid is doing.
Hmm.
And it's not a few seconds into where you finished and you downed it when you're like, okay, well, that was unpleasant. And then it starts to hit your brain. To where as you're like holding onto the glass, your fingers just you can't keep your fingers still. You already start to like lean heavy to one side or the other. Everything starts to swim. You start to be unable to feel your lips as they move. This is a very strong, very quick acting alcohol.
Hey guys, what kind of drunk is Scarlet?
Oh, I'm not looking forward to finding out.
That's up to you. I see it going one of two ways.
Alice is happily sipping
A
on
lot
a Shirley Temple.
in anime, a lot of folks are either the really aggressive drunk, which I don't actually think works for Scarlet, because
Who's
that's how
already
you are normally.
Scarlet's aggressive sober.
So
Yeah.
either
What are you
super
talking
weepy,
about? I am so nice, guys.
either super weepy or super like bubbly and clingy.
Yes,
are the two
that is the
that I'm
two
seeing.
ways I see that happening.
And it might just go back and
bubbly,
forth between the
clingy,
two.
drunk is me in real life, so I'm gonna go with the crying one. But we'll see how that plays out this scene.
Chad agrees.
Cor will grab the bottle of wine from behind Trent's glass and like put it into their little like side saddle bag, stoppered and put in there.
This is incredible. I sort of assumed that I wouldn't be getting any of this once I left the islands. There's not a whole lot of trade going out.
I had to take some things from home back with me.
From home.
He turns and you see like equally two small vestigial wings.
And
Trent
Cor will
Simmons.
point to that, looking at Trent.
Yeah. It's like, of course I know
So-
who you are. And he gives him a firm handshake.
I knew the name was familiar, and you're obviously from Sky Islands. We've had a few conversations about it beforehand.
It's a celebrity where I'm from.
I knew the name was familiar. I remember us talking about it. Fencer or something. Swordsman, definitely.
one of the most famed duelists of our island.
That's what it was.
Are you sure about that?
Well, it made it here comparatively.
You heard that, Trip? You're famous.
Yes, I am.
I pat you
Are
on the
you
back.
doing all right?
Probably way too hard.
Yeah, that's the Sea King's ink for you. It lowers inhibitions.
I don't know what you mean. I'm fine. I stand up and fall down.
Now you can have a taste of home whenever you need a little reminding. And Cor will like pat
I-
the bottle.
Cannot thank you enough. And
Because they-
if you have, he'll turn to the barkeep. If you have a regular supplier or some such, we could perhaps
I'll see if
work
I
out
can,
some kind of connection, because
I'll see if
this
I can
is,
hook you up a connection.
you must understand, you are giving me back something that I assumed had been taken from me.
Anything to help out a fellow Skypian.
You're too kind. Where did you hail from, if you don't mind my asking?
It's been a while. He's like kind of see him roll his shoulders back, and I have to pull up my map of Sky.
I had a feeling I was putting you on the spot here.
While you do that, Cor will turn to Ren and see how Ren is doing after this drink.
Ren, every time someone talks, he stares at them so intently and takes so long to react to the next person.
Yep, I've
He's
met that
listening.
drunk.
He's listening so hard, and he turns and looks at Core. How do you do that?
Yeah.
I asked.
Well, you're deep in the ink right now.
Don't say that.
My captain happened across one of these fruits, and one of our doctors on board found a way to extract the green blood from the fruit without having to actively ingest it. You can, on very, very rare occasions, you can gain access to the abilities of the fruit through this.
Yeah.
Shandora, by the way.
Okay.
I had a tournament there one time. Oh, those were good days.
Guys, someone turn the tavern on its side. Just fully laying on the ground.
Tavern's fine. You're the one on your side.
Pirouette's going to lean down and like lift Scarlet and prop them back onto their chair.
Thanks, Pirouette. I love you. Just fully hang on the Pirouette.
Core
Pirouette's
will
not going to say anything. Just going to stay. Just
Core will look to see like Red, do you have like a bag on you or anything?
Yeah, he's got like some sort of backpack or something.
Okay. Core will take out the syringe that the captain used on him.
And carry that around.
He'll turn it, and you can see there's like the faintest remains of the green blood left in it.
Ren, give me at disadvantage because drunk. Either a history or a nature check.
What do you mean? I remember the most stuff when I'm drunk, Devontae.
I recall everything.
Yeah.
I believe that I remember all of the things when I'm drunk.
Is it formed into cognitive thought process?
Exactly. It helps.
So I rolled 2 9s, so it's a 13.
No. Okay. This is a familiar process to something that you're used to. It does have a low success rate. The success rates that's then given that do grant the abilities do also hold a small amount of the weakness to water. Not so much that they can't swim, but that they are weighed down. Water is still a danger. It's just not as heavily a danger. This is what would end up being the precursor to the false devil fruits.
Oh. Shit. Who is your who are these people?
My captain is Captain Vic Vol Voss of the Vulgar Victory.
That's a lot of V's.
Yeah, Trent will like just he'll begin to cough a little bit, not a laugh at all, just a
He'll point to the patch and it having 5 V's. The top 3 he points out with each of the name, and then Vulgar Victory for the other 2.
Wow.
So as a thing, do you happen to know the name of the doctor that started this process? Because if you don't, I'm gonna fill in some gaps here.
I do have a name for them.
Cool. Throw me that.
In message or out loud?
Go ahead and do it out loud.
Okay. So it's Captain Bering Strait.
again with the on-point names. I love it.
Well, his son Bering Jr. was the lookout on the ship.
You're telling me Ark wrote out a ton of backstory and world building for his character? What? No way.
Nice. I'm always happy.
Wild.
I can give you the devil fruit name. I can give you all, like, I got you. It's not a guaranteed success, and I think it only worked because of how I was feeling when it was given to me. Made it so it was possible.
How you're feeling? Like emotions?
Yeah.
So how were you feeling?
Angry, scared, adrenaline, like I was pulling every chain tied to the ship to try and rend it free from what was happening. All of my muscles were tense. Every fiber was pulling against itself. I think because it was so, my body was looking for an answer, and this became the answer.
Is Ren writing this down?
Yeah, it's totally legible.
I'm just Trent's just gonna look over at the notebook. Is Ren writing legibly?
No, but I also think you look further up the page where he wasn't drunk, and it's also not super legible.
Fair enough.
It's just a bunch of shorthand.
Ren writes.
It's
I
written
will
in a
s-
circle.
Ren was a
Going
doc.
on.
Ren writes like a doctor.
here's how I'm actually going to describe it because it may lead to something. Ren writes as if Ren is very used to writing in the margins of other people.
Yeah. Yes, it's very small.
So very cramped. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm going to ask you more about this at some other time.
You're not so deep in the ink. Got it.
And yeah. Do you know about the false devil fruits that were made later?
No,
Yeah, you would have no idea.
I
on that.
knew that this was a fruit. When we got it, it was like looks around for a second, realizes Pirouette sitting there, is like, oh wait, never mind. In a box, in a box, in a box. And it took quite a few days to even get through the first one once we had gotten it on the ship. So it was a secret, it was hidden, it was locked away. Somebody wanted to keep this from getting to other people, obviously. But
Well, great to know. I'm gonna remember it for sure.
if not, I can fill you back in.
Yeah. Yeah. He just like you watch him like turn focus completely to his notes, and it's just like gone.
You
Can I turn Ren's notebook towards me?
Ren's head like slow.
I'm proficient in forgery tools, in a forgery kit. So I write out everything to match Ren's handwriting in between the margins of their own drunken notes.
Whoa,
Ren is
Ren,
slightly horrified by this and
how
doesn't
are
say
you
anything.
writing with Core's body? That's so weird. I'm like leaning. I'm like on Ren's back.
Ren, are you doing this? This is incredible. I didn't know you could do this. I knew you had these shapes you could make, but
The funny thing is, Trent's sober.
this is something incredibly different. Oh yeah, no, yeah, he's just gormless.
Trent's just fucking with Scarlet.
Trent is beginning to reach that sort of happy buzz that you get after a glass of wine, as opposed to the bottom of the Marina Trench drunk you get when drinking, you know.
I have
Whatever we
all.
drink.
I have all of
Ink.
my weight on Ren's back, which is like over 200 pounds because the tail is pretty heavy.
I rolled a natural 20 for the forgery
It's
kit.
fully written out in the exact same
Incredible.
style of yours, Ren.
Ren is so upset by this and can't process it, and then Scarlett's in his back saying, "How are you doing that?" It's like
I turned the book back. I go, just in case. So there's double the notes.
who are you?
I'm Core.
Can I make a con save real quick, Javon?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Uh-oh.
I rolled a 5. I throw up in the book.
Yeah.
Wait. How close am I? And is this considered danger sense territory?
I'm literally on Ren's back at the like
I would say you're
stole,
close
I
enough
think.
that the danger sense could kick in for you to move the book.
Yes.
How
If
dare
I could
you.
move the book out of the way. Because I think I've been around enough drunk people to know when they're about to.
I will say
You.
it's not near. It's almost worse coming back up. Because again, it's a very
Oh.
thick.
Oh.
Don't like that.
Ren starts backing both of them up.
You
from
see
it.
Scarlet preps like a ray of frost and just sticks her hand in her mouth.
I've never had it happen, but I imagine this is what it's like when you have to throw up Jägermeister.
Yep.
Pretty close.
Yep,
Pretty
been
close.
there.
It's
You
there's
know
just
what?
this,
When you're in high school and you need to get drunk fast, you get with Shindy.
it's there's like a little silence and then just a It's not the first time.
Yeah, 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 yeah. As he's holding Ren's book, saving it from that mess.
I think that the drink is eating a hole in the table, though. We might want to clean this up quickly.
I got it. Then you see him pick up not a washcloth. It's essentially just like an iron trawl and then just throws it.
Hey, Ren, this really helps. Here. I just shoved my hand in Ren's mouth.
Ugh.
Just an ice fucking
Awful.
ray of frost hand in your mouth.
From outside, you will hear what sounds like shouting, and then start to see like a little cloud of dust form as this little soft sound off, and then just a little dust.
What's that?
Trent's going to look at Dreki and at Core, the two who are in relatively vertical positions.
Yeah, Core
Alice
hasn't
is-
touched his drink
We'll
at
just-
all. It's still sitting in front of him.
The
We'll just
fur
kind
on
of
the
look at
back
them
of
both
Alice's
meaningfully
neck
very
starts to
quickly,
lift.
and then is gonna walk to the door.
No.
All right, all right.
Core's gonna watch. He's watching through the reflection off the bottles
Yeah.
out the door. What do I see?
Out the door, you see someone with a very similarly massive figure, with what you first mistake as red skin, but you realize is more like a metallic sheen, just holding somebody down with a massive arm, like as like that choke slammed them onto the ground, and just kind of keeping them still.
All right, there's a big guy out there, shiny skin, holding somebody down. You guys ready? If things are necessary.
Do I recognize the description?
How big?
You do not, Scarlet.
Okay, cool.
Looks to Dreki, looks back at the reflection off of the bottle and goes, comparable.
Fine, guys, I got him. I stumble over the bar towards the door.
Pirouette's just going to very calmly grab a hold of the back of Scarlet's tail and just holds it.
I'm moving like I'm still walking. Like still floating forward.
And Trent will, after now knowing what's going on, will continue forward toward the door.
How did you get faster than me? What the? I'm just still in place.
Dreki just puts a hand on Alice's head. Just stay here. He'll be safe.
Some man of iron. It smells like one of the ones that came to my village.
The ones that came to your film. That's the people I want to kill. Let go.
As Pirouette pulls Scarlet back.
Can I
You are
contest
not.
that?
You're not. You can certainly try.
I'm guessing
Give me an athletics
disadvantage,
check at
athletics.
disadvantage.
While they're doing that, would the man of iron comment bring anything to mind?
To you, no. To Core, maybe.
So the worst of those rolls was an 18, which becomes a 17 as my athletics sucks.
She beats you at 19.
God damn it. Let go.
GM
I'll
side
be extra
chat.
careful.
Yeah, I saw.
Okay.
Trent, as you open the door, and Dreki, as you're heading forward, you see a man who is incomparable size to Dreki, though that size is augmented by very clear cybernetic augmentation. Both arms being replaced by these massive metal, like piston-like arms. Part of the head you can see like equally like a skull cap that is cybernetic in design. There's a like almost riveting on the back, and as they're just holding down the person, you can see them. I need you to stop resisting.
Who is or what sort of person is this guy holding down?
You see what looks to be probably a another pirate of some sort. You see them holding a coin bag with a lot of berries like spilling out of it.
I'm
And as
looking
they
for
hear-
any insignia.
It is the insignia on them. It does not. It's not immediately recognizable. It's neither
Okay.
from Guillotine's crew nor is it from Core's. On the pirate holding the person down, you can see two insignias, but you see like emblazoned in onto one of the arms. You see Core's crew's insignia, and then as a patch on the other side, you see the Guillotine crew.
So Trent's going to turn back to see if Scarlet is still being restrained,
Yes.
and we'll go ahead and stay out of it for the time being. This doesn't look like my fight, so we're just gonna stay and watch.
Wait, how far away are they?
They're at the door, but you are being held currently.
Yeah, but how far away is the pirate person?
Oh, probably from the door, maybe another 15 feet.
Do you have
So
a-
pretty close.
They're close. However, like Pirouette is just kind of like holding you now. Just no, you're not. It's okay.
Dreki, did you go outside?
No, he's waiting right on the inside, keeping an eye out.
Well, Dreki, you hear whispered in your ear, Dankachin Nonori, as a small, like, ghost chain moves out from between, like, between your arm and your chest and goes and wraps around this person's wrist. I'm gonna devil's branding the person outside.
Mm.
And then step out from behind Dreki's shadow because I thought Dreki was going outside.
He's not far from the door. He just hasn't stepped outside of it yet.
Okay. Mon,
His head like lifts up.
come on, man. This isn't you.
Unfortunately, this is about as close to the real me as I have. As he like pushes down the guy again. Caught him stealing from a local store here.
We stole worse. We did worse.
That was a while ago.
What did the kid take?
About 300 berries worth of cash and some like looks down at him. Some thrift clothes looks like.
Core takes the berries in his pocket and rolls them up in one of the patches. Just let the kid go, man.
You kind of see him give this just little looking at the patch. See, the Rosa or guillotine's gonna have my head if I don't do justice. You know that.
You hurt the kid, I gotta hurt you.
He lifts his hand up as the kid like brushes himself off and quickly starts to run. I feel like I'm gonna regret that.
There's some really nice kelp lilies just out past the beach. We could put them in the notebook. We can dry them. We can keep them. Do all the art we need to. They ain't gotta be this way. Captain's getting better.
I don't have an option right now.
You always have an option.
And the choice was what? It was stand next to you the entire time, watch our captain get nearly killed, and what? Just be into hiding out here or join the side that won.
Win your way. Victory is always yours.
You don't have to quote him. Just put it down.
I want to put it in your hand.
He looks past you over towards the door. Is that
Trent Simmons, very nice to make your acquaintance. Trent will get in between the door, in between the door and him, and walk forward like you were talking to him. And we'll hold his hand out.
He has a little eyebrow raised and he looks to Core and then looks back to Trent.
New ship just came in. They're passing through, getting some supplies, going on their way. I was working with Czar.
Trent Simmons, right?
Yes. And he'll have that slight expectational look that he gets every time he tells someone his name.
He turns his hand and looks down at it. You see like a little, almost like an old computer doing a like printout as he
Oh,
just seems to be
damn.
examining something. 150K. I'm going to assume then that inside there's
Aku Kasari, and I throw the chains out to wrap around Mono's face to pull him down, like
Yeah,
pull
I
him
think
down prone.
Pirouette, let me go. We're fighting.
I think some initiative is called for here, but it's up to you.
Before we roll initiative, is there a way for him to dodge out of the way of the chain coming towards him? He knows you at this point.
You're right
Yeah,
back.
but he wouldn't know where the chain's coming from because
That is true.
I couldn't do this before.
That is true. So yeah, as the chain is just going to wrap around, and he is going to very defensively to pull his hands up. Pulling him towards you is going to be the difficult part of this, as he weighs close to a ton.
I'm just trying to be exactly what my name is, an anchor. I'm trying to reduce his movement speed to 0 right now. That's it. I'm just grappling him with the chain.
He's clearly not going to move from position, but you just hear him. You do understand that if you're protecting them, that's going to put a target on your back.
I'm just trying to show you there's other ways to win.
I don't intend on having an unfair fight, even if that would be fun.
Win your way.
Like looks back to his hand for a moment. Undo the chain. I have no reason to fight right now.
On your victory.
He lifts his hands and you see this like steam rise from it, which kind of shows for you that he's
Yeah.
letting off energy to be like, I'm not fighting.
And I'll let the chain go.
I'd be cautious about saying your name as he points to Trent.
Can't imagine why. Up until now, very few people have recognized it at all.
Told you this place is a little bit different, friend.
Dreki starts to walk out.
Now we got targets on our heads.
Let
When
me go.
Rosa came back and said that she has some people for the guillotine to hunt, and specifically gave the names and descriptions. About one of you is they're willing to have taken alive.
I'm going to assume that's Ren.
If you're traveling with somebody named Scarlet, they want them alive.
I had a feeling.
That's their failing.
As
They take her
Pirouette.
alive. They're not going to survive it.
Pirouette, let's go.
Fall on my face and like scramble up. Listen here. Take me a guillotine so I can kick his ass right now. Or else I go to reach to grab him and I just fall at his feet.
looks to core.
They're deep in the ink.
Ah,
I'm just here to get the crew back.
you're not. Look, I'm nice. All right. I still am trying to do the stuff that I used to do. But that's me.
Holding down little kids on an island isn't you, Mono.
It's not me, but it's better than what some of the others have been doing.
And that's why I'm trying to get the crew back together. Cap's getting better. The ship's almost completely fixed. We can go back. You guys can go back. I can get all of you off of the island.
I don't even know where Bering is. I do know where Ori is.
I can find Bering.
You're not gonna like where Ori is.
I didn't like seeing you do what you were just doing.
It's not an enjoyment out of that fact, but I would have let the kid live.
You're like 12 times his size.
I don't know my own strength sometimes, so be it.
I know, and that's why you should be running masts. You should be pulling rope. You should be shuffling cannons, not on an island holding kids down for 300 berries.
Well, what are you doing, Core?
Here to get you back.
You have a lot more potential than just getting us back. And besides, you get us back and then what? Our captain's still healing.
Nothing without the rest of you guys.
That's the issue with you young ones. You keep thinking that you need the rest of us to be somebody.
This is so beautiful. Just fully crying at your guys'
Well,
feet
fish
in
is
the middle
trying
of
to
this
get family.
conversation.
Look,
Group
if you want.
hug. I hugged this guy's leg.
He like has hands up and then just there, gently patting the top of her head. If you're looking for
Dreki perhaps
Ori,
fetching the crowbar.
if
I don't think that's necessary. As he moves forward to try to like
you pry
pry
Scarlet
her
off.
off as best he can.
I don't
As he
resist. I just
see-
lomp onto you.
As he sees Alice is like peering out of the corner, and Mon yeah, he sees Alice, and there's a visible look of like, oh no. And he just looks away.
Hey, don't look at our kid.
You can make it right. Look, you're standing on this island long enough. I can see dirt in between the plates on your foot.
Look, if I tell you where Ori is, I'll figure stuff out from there.
I get Ori.
I don't know if you're gonna get Ori. I can tell you where she is.
I can try.
Guillotine's planning something with the pyramid. It's apparently where the offering is being held.
Right.
Ori's going to be with them. They've been in charge of keeping the offering in line.
Well, we can get everybody back together, and right before this offering or whatever's supposed to happen, I got a ship and we can get out of here and not have to worry about it.
With a sick captain on the ship.
No, we can't leave.
We'll
we
go
gotta,
get the
we gotta
captain.
kill Guillotine, guys.
I don't think it's like looks over to Scarlet.
Down at Scarlet.
Yeah.
I mean, no,
You,
I'm up. I'm in Dreki's arms right
Oh,
now.
that's true.
I mean, killing Guillotine is a really large prospect.
And we can come back and do it. We can get that bounty if we wanted to. But you can't do it by yourself. They obviously can't. And he points to the collective group.
Hey,
I can't,
What does that mean? How dare
Pirouette
you?
seems ready to go.
but we could do it all together.
This is one of those things that this man constantly puts others in danger and robs people of their lives for no other reason than his own gain. This
Not
is one of
serving-
those times where putting your life on the line is worth it.
I'm not serving him out of a sense of loyalty or anything like that. That's what you're implying.
I'm not implying anything.
It's also a bit of a I'll think about this.
Do a
I'll
lot
be
more
over-
than think.
I'll be over at the reef. If you I'd look for Bearing first before you find Ori.
I'll do that. And do a lot more than think. Remember, too.
Yeah. Nice group you have. Again, make sure they don't say their names out loud too often.
But
God,
hey, if you know my name, you know that there's very little more I enjoy than a nice, clean one-on-one match. And if you ever decide that you wish to test your skills against someone who's not quite your size,
I've always been a bit more of a gentle giant, but I might take you up on that offer. And you see him crack his knuckles, and it sounds like pistons just.
ow!
anytime, friend, anytime.
And he turns and he begins to walk away. Anyone that's played Cyberpunk 2077, that Atom Smasher walking sound is just the only thing that's playing as he's moving. Alice tentatively walks out and like holds on to Drecky's leg and looks up at Scarlet, gives a little like sniff. You see her nose kind of curled back because of the alcohol. So
Hi, ship child.
She said ship, by the way,
I
just
know.
so you know.
I grasped it.
Okay, just making sure.
Wait, I have an idea. So we need to fight guillotine. Can I burn key point and heal myself of my drunkenness? Because I do have a healing ability with my
Yeah,
key point.
I would say that healing, using a healing would remove the drunken
I'm
state.
gonna try something. I just shove my hand back in my mouth again. But this time instead of ice, it's just glowing like a red color, and you immediately see her face change. She's like, put me down. God damn, put me down right now.
Oh, but it was kind of cute.
Shut up, guys. If anyone repeats anything that happened in the last hour, I'll kill you.
I think
You
that-
can,
Trent will just
you can
hold out
definitely
a-
try.
Trent will hold out a skin of water.
Yeah, I'll take that. Just immediately down it.
All right. So
You
Mono's
definitely
here.
can't hold your drink.
I don't know what you're talking about. So guillotine will be at the pyramid is all I remember from that.
And this mono is
That
here.
tracks.
Mono
Oh,
is my
so-
shipwright.
You
An
hear
old-
this?
An old
Oh,
acquaintance of yours, it sounds.
so they'll be at the pyramid, you say, as from the road you see just on top of the poneglyph machine, which is still being carried, Vala, just hands behind the snake hood, watching. I was being very entertained, but if you're heading
give
to
her-
the
I
pyramid,
give her a wink.
if you're heading to the pyramid, I could use an escort.
Who are you?
She plants her hands down and lifts off. And Rand, you do recognize this person. You don't have to do a roll, but I will tell you why. Vala, I'm a reader of poneglyphs and a studier of history. Ren, the name Vala, specifically Vala S. Purier, who is a well-known, essentially a very well-known historian who has deciphered over 700 translations from poneglyphs. Her studies have essentially accelerated the historical processes.
I think having seen Scarlet heal herself, Ren was back there like putting some stuff together and does like the equivalent of a cure wounds. So he's like, oh, hey, you're so famous.
Why, thank you, but I think we've covered this ground
Out
before.
Trent.
Trip, shut up.
No, Trent. Please, someone clip that.
Can I just do the anime like smash them into the ground thing?
Yeah, he
Just
hits
hit him
the
on top of the
floor.
head.
Yep.
Legs dangling in the air. Absolutely.
As Vala smiles, like as she's lifted off and just kind of walks around the group. The long snake tail like lifts, goes under Ren's, like on Ren's cheek, under the chin, back up. Like I said, I need an escort.
We could be it.
I can offer, looks to the group, 300 berries each.
You can split mine with the rest of them.
I mean,
No, I just
don't-
watched you
I
drop
don't need the
300
money. I'm
berries
going there regardless.
specifically. You deserve to gain that money back.
Like,
You did just diffuse this entire situation.
I'll get it back with good company. And again, like grins towards Zvala.
She has this little snake-like smile. Tongue flicks out for a moment. Besides, I would rather my information get done before some meat-headed pirate decides to use one of the greatest scientific and historical discoveries in the world as just another place to offer meat to a giant sea creature.
We lost Dreki.
we did lose Dreki.
Oh yeah,
Oh no.
I think their Zoom may have died.
Dreki, no!
It's okay, we shall continue until he is back.
Gonna
Okay.
move
But as
people in
Yeah,
frame.
I know the camera woes of having to
Mhm.
deal with somebody suddenly dropping. I understand so much.
as she continues to circle around the group, just kind of take note, Trent, of your wings. Kind of looks to that, looks to Trent, looks back to the wings. Skypian?
Oh, yes, Trent Simmons. Very nice to make your acquaintance.
We
pleasure.
just talked about not just giving your name out.
Just 1 minute ago.
Like, stop.
What part of Skypia?
Don't tell them
Burka
where you're
specifically.
from. That's also an line with the name thing. You don't tell people where you're from.
Nobody goes to Sky Island. Nobody knows anything about what's up there, apparently.
Apparently, you're
Well, you're
known
new.
up there. You just got like 30 letters from your home for
I
fan
know,
mail.
and it was wonderful.
I used to be on a ship with someone from the Sky.
It's not often that we come down here. It might potentially be someone I know, depending on how long ago
They
it
had
was.
much larger wings than yours, though.
Oh. Like a flame back here?
Mm-hmm.
I see.
I would assume then that they are Lunarian as opposed to pure Skypian.
Yes. Don't enjoy hearing that name. There's something of a myth even to us. But
Interesting.
yes.
Still interesting to meet others.
No, just for one moment, you said you knew a Skypean with larger wings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't suppose you'd be willing to proffer a name. It might be someone that I know.
I could give you the middle and last name. D. Andrus.
Yes, I do believe we're speaking of the same person.
Oh,
Yes, I'm familiar.
good. She's doing well for herself, I assume. We just had a bit of a falling out in terms of what I would like to retain from the places that we inhabit and what she prefers to do to them.
Is your destination then the Grand Line?
My destination is wherever there might be gestures over to the giant stone, those. And if there happen to be more in the Grand Line, I will absolutely take up on Pippi on that offer.
Be helping us out anyway. I pull out a Poneglyph tablet.
Ooh, as she reaches out and like gently takes it. Thank you, cutie. That's mighty helpful of you. As the tail like boops your nose.
Yeah, don't do that.
Let's
Don't
see.
just tell me what it says, please.
Information tends to cost something. But since you did give me the tablet.
Just keep my payment for escorting you. Call it even.
And I'm happy to sign anything you might have about you.
I might just take you up on that. If you're curious of what this says, it's a detailed notation of one of the islands that the One Piece may be inhabiting.
Yeah. Does it
It's
have
a
coordinates?
It's essentially coordinates. It's written out in, of course, Poneglyph, which utilizes a lot more flowy, romantic script, but it's can be utilized as coordinates, cardinal directions.
Okay, what's
This
that?
one's detailing one of the myriad of islands there, an island inhabited by someone by the name of the Puppet King.
Yeah, I'll pull out my navigation journal and note that down.
Useless out here, but on the Grand Line might be very useful. She her tail twitch a little bit as she places the tablet into her pouch, which as she opens it, you don't see anything inside of it. And as she places the tablet into the pouch, closes it, and then like swings it around, you don't hear the tablet move. So as she opens the pouch again, reaches in and pulls out a long cigarette holder, places it into the mouth, and then like wraps her tongue around it. Are we looking to go now, or do we want a place to rest?
We can rest for the night. Go in the morning.
Perfect. My manor is open to you all. After all, I need to have my company have a good place to sleep and recuperate.
Absolutely.
And me and the scientist have quite a bit to talk about, she says, looking to Ren.
Hmm. Yeah.
And with that being said, as it's coming up to about that time, that's where we're going to end for tonight's episode. Thank you all very much for coming. Thank you, Ark, for joining in as our first guest for this arc. I'm very, very excited to get more involved into this. We unfortunately did lose Dreki in the process of internet shenanigans. Uh,
Yeah.
so Jackie, played by Red Panda Cola. You can find him on Twitter at Red Panda Cola with all of his projects. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head. Uh, Ark, where can we find you?
Oh, me? Hello, everyone. My name is Ark or Arc Court. I'm your Gridmaster, Lighthouse Keeper, Lore Writer, Beacon onto all beacons. You can find me all over the internet at Arc Court, but the best way to keep up to date with me is Instagram or now Threads, because yeah, Threads is a thing for me. I didn't have Twitter before, so now I have Threads.
Threads is so much better than Twitter. You didn't miss out.
Great. But yeah, I'm super excited to hang with the crew and get to answer more questions and show more of who Core is to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Ren? Okay, Luke.
Luke. My name is Luke. For the moment, you can find me on Twitter. It's Luke_Taylor23. We'll see if I move elsewhere.
Get on the sky.
Yeah, we're gonna see. You'll find a lot of like journalism on there. I don't do this full time, so this is the only place that I'm live streaming. But you will also see my writing on Goonhammer when I have time to talk about games because I'm thinking about them all the time. Also, join our Discord. I
Mhm.
can send a link to it in the chat right now. We're hanging out.
Heck yeah.
Rob.
That's me. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and the Blue Sky over at Math Demigod. I have my own actual play that's been going on for several years now. So if you want a rabbit hole to fall deep, deep down, head over to youtube.com/gaming mathematically. One of the playlists is called Bad Decisions Club Adventures. And yeah, we are about to do we're going to record our climactic final encounter of the campaign this Sunday, and assuming that I edit it in time, it should go live on Tuesday over at twitch.tv/mathdemigod. So, and hey, we've got Dreki back.
Jackie's
So
back for the outro.
that's where you can find me. Hope to see you there. Also, Blue Sky, get away from Twitter. It's especially if you're an artist. Just get off of Twitter. Just get off.
Sorry,
Get off
Pandy.
of Twitter.
Sorry, Pandy. Directly died while you were gone. It's so sad.
I'm sorry. You'll have to roll up a new character. It's fine.
I tried to save you as best as I could.
We tried so hard.
Ryan, do you want to
Not
share
so
where they can
far.
find you and other things that you're doing?
I mean, you can mostly find me hanging around the different discords or you know, either Ark's Twitch channel, Paige's Twitch channel when I get the chance. around Playotic Games. Otherwise, you find me here.
Paige, what are you doing?
Hey everyone, I'm Paige, aka Pluto Cleric, all over the internet, mostly Twitch, Threads, and Instagram right now. What do I got going on? Currently on Sundays, I'm running a cyborg actual play called 20x3 Survival, and we have gotten fully into the horror aspect of that game now. Everyone was really freaked out last session, and it made me feel really good about myself. That's on Sundays at 9 p.m. Central. On Mondays at 9 p.m. Central as well, we have the next episode of my podcast on the same page, Lord Out with Friends. This coming week's episode is going to be Faye, aka Gothic Fairy Cosplay, on the socials, and we're going to talk about the Salem witch trials. And true story, we had to record this episode twice because as soon as we started talking about the Salem witch trials, my electric went out. Fucking freaky.
It is
Oh, boy.
cursed.
But yeah, besides that, I'm here every other Thursday, and I will be ready for Castleton Part 2 in November. So keep an eye out for that. And come see me at Pat's if you're in Philly in December. So I'll be there.
Shit was.
And then there's me, Javante, Stuff and Junk That I'm Doing. You can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Javante for both. I don't post much on Blue Sky because I'm trying to get used to posting there. Stuff that I'm doing. Monday, I will be on Magi RPG, where I play Cascata, the Canary in our Dragon Age TTRPG, which is very fun. So what the hell else am I in? I've been too many things. October 31st, catch me on Wanderer's Haven, where I am DMing a Curseborn one shot to hype up that game, which will be coming out soon. I'm so excited. Onyx Path has done such a great job in making this TTRPG, and I get to actually run it and do horror stuff on Halloween, which I love. Plus, of course, I have One Piece here every bi-weekly Thursday. Um, and fairly soon, because I've just decided that I might as well just announce that I'm doing it now. Uh, Hi, one of my favorite TTRPG groups is coming up with their book, and because I'm a reckless nerd and love to do things, I'm just going to run a stream of a game of that book. So keep an eye on my Twitter and Blue Sky for a game set in the world of Somnus Domina. Uh, so that's going to be a thing that happens soon, TM. Other than that, yeah, you can catch me on Twitter, on Twitch, on Blue Sky, on Discord. Please join the Discord for this game. We're nerds. We like to talk about dumb things. It also might be where I post other things too if we're not doing live games. Hi, do you want to be in games that aren't live that affect the universe? I might be running some small stuff like that. Other than that, I will see everyone back on the seas in 2 weeks' time. So I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, everyone.